I'm now calling to order a regular meeting of the City Council, Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025 at 7 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Councilwoman Rogancy.
Here.
Councilwoman McGee.
Here.
Councilman Dwyer.
Here.
Councilman Boyke.
Here.
Councilman Noonan.
Here.
Councilman Lafferty.
Here.
Councilwoman Moore. We have a quorum.
Next item.
Next item is adoption of the consent agenda. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is adoption of the agenda. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore?
Yes, the first item, removing 10A. That is supposed to be at a little later time, and we jumped the gun a little bit. Adding item 13E, which is, let me find my paper. Sorry, one sec. E, consideration and adoption of a resolution to award bid and approve contract for city project ITBW 1558, dewatering and incineration improvements. As item 12B, discussion regarding the elected officials compensation commission, and as item C, legal action following closed session. I believe, Mr. Noonan, did you want to add an item for discussion?
Yes, I would. I'd just like to discuss where the Van Dyke Corridor plan is coming and the Van Dyke Corridor implementation plan that was put together by Wayne State University students.
That will be 12D.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Madam Chair, what was 12C?
Legal action re-closed session.
Okay.
Hearing and seeing no additional discussion, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes?
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 6A, calendar of pending matters. Motion to receive and file.
Support Lafferty.
I'm satisfied with the information that Ms. Michael sent over about Borg Warner, so we can remove that item.
We will do that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7A, approval of the bills of the general revenue fund. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Mr. Fox, I had a question. There's a $1.2 million check to Comerica Leasing. Oh,
Richard Fox, City Controller. Off the top of my head, I don't know what that is, but I can certainly give you a report on it.
Okay.
I can call you tomorrow.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't. Thank you. Any other discussion? No. Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7B, approval of the bills of the water and sewer systems. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is audience participation for agenda items only.
Is this the only one?
Yep.
First is Georgia Durga. And Ms. Durga, is your item for an item from the agenda, or is it just a general concern?
I have two general concerns. One is about the flyer that went out, so I don't know if that was on the agenda or not. The other one is not on the agenda.
No.
Okay, great. So you can speak for a total of 3 minutes when I call general audience later in the meeting.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. That is the end of audience. Next item.
Next item is 9A, resolution commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Warren Consolidated Schools Career Preparation Center. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
All in favor?
Aye.
I will read
Any
this quickly.
opposed? Yep, go ahead.
Whereas the Warren Consolidated Schools Career Prep Center, CPC, has for 50 years served as a cornerstone of education and workforce readiness in the city of Warren and surrounding communities. And whereas since its opening in 1975, the CPC has provided students with hands-on training, technical instruction, and career-focused education in fields such as health sciences, engineering, culinary arts, automotive technology, construction trades, and information technology. And whereas the CPC has prepared tens of thousands of students for both higher education and direct entry into the workforce, equipping them with valuable skills that support personal growth, economic opportunity, and community prosperity. And whereas through its partnerships with local businesses, industries, and higher education institutions, the CPC has advanced regional workforce development, strengthened Warren's reputation as a hub of innovation and opportunity, and provided employers with a pipeline of highly skilled, motivated graduates. And whereas the CPC reflects the values of the Warren community by fostering excellence, opportunity, and success for every student who walks through its doors. And whereas the Warren City Council recognizes and honors the teachers, administrators, staff, students, alumni, and community partners whose dedication has sustained the CPC's mission over the past 50 years. Now therefore be it resolved that the Warren City Council hereby commemorates the 50th anniversary of the Warren Consolidated Schools Career Preparation Center, extends its heartfelt congratulations on this historic milestone, and expresses its deepest gratitude for the CPC's 5 decades of service to the youth and families of Warren and surrounding communities. Be it therefore resolved that a copy of this resolution shall be presented to the Warren Consolidated Schools Career Preparation Center in recognition of this special anniversary. I was, as everybody knows, I was on the Warren Consolidated Schools Board of Education for a while, and the CPC was just outstanding. And back in the day, they had a watch repair, one of the very few around. And I don't think they have that any longer, but that was really a successful program, and kids, learned to fix, and they would be hired by Rolex and some really fancy companies, and I think the restaurant is still open, and especially today, I think we're all realizing that how we have to focus on putting kids through programs and not everybody going to college, because we have a shortage of skilled trades, and we should be supporting these sort of programs every time we can, in my opinion. I have sad news.
Madam Chair?
Yep.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair?
Yep.
I wanted to just comment on that. I was a student at the Career Prep Center in my junior high year, and my junior year of high school, I should say. And I took the electronics course. My daughter, Annalise, was a recent graduate of Warren Mott and took the EMS and Emergency Services course, where you can come out of that program with enough credits, and I'm going to get this wrong. I would need Gary Watts to tell me the right terminology, but you get enough credits to be able to work for an ambulance service. It's incredible the type of skills you come out with. The course that I took with electronics have served me in home ownership and knowing how to do, things around the house. It's an incredible vocational education. There's a lot to be said for it. Absolutely right.
Thank you.
Madam
Additional
Chair,
announcements?
I'd like to comment
Oh,
also.
Go ahead, Mr. Wiggy.
I'd like to speak from a personal experience. My son attended that prep school. While he was there, he was instrumental, his class, in building a home from scratch, the drywall, framing, and learned a lot. He come home and then his topic was, "Dad, you're doing it wrong." But he learned a lot there, and he's older now, and he takes those skills and he still uses them. It was a very good program.
Yeah, they've had many programs over the years. Florists, they had a flower shop. People could learn to be, flower arrangers and all kinds of things over the years. So I'm glad to see it's still there after 50 years. The next, we extend our deepest condolences on the passing of Sue Keffer, a devoted resident of our city since 1962. Sue's life was marked by a profound dedication to preserving Warren's history and enriching its cultural life. She served as chairperson of the Warren Historical Commission, was a member of the Historical and Genealogy Society of Warren, where she led efforts to protect and celebrate our community's heritage, from restoring landmarks like the Bunnert one-room schoolhouse to advocating for historic preservation across the city. She was also deeply involved with the Warren Garden Club and many other civic organizations, always working to beautify and strengthen our community. Beyond her historical and civic leadership, Sue shared her love for the arts as a member of the board of directors of the Warren Symphony Orchestra, where her vision and commitment supported music and cultural enrichment for generations of residents. Sue Keffer's passing is a tremendous loss to Warren. Her tireless contributions will live on in the stories we preserve, the music we celebrate, and the community she helped to shape. We honor her memory and extend our sincere condolences to her family and friends. There will be a celebration of life September 27th at 2 p.m. right here at the Warren Community Center. All are welcome. They're going to have the Historical Commission room open for the service. The Warren Symphony Orchestra, there will be a string quartet from that group. Mr. Lafferty is going to sing. I'm not. I'm just going to speak. You'll all be glad to know that. So everybody is welcome, and they would welcome if somebody wants to bring a dish to pass or a dessert. That would be greatly welcome. One other item I want to touch on. We have a little time, but I do want to talk about this. As most of you know, on November 4th on the ballot is a renewal of our police and fire millage. And the exact wording of that is, shall Section 9.1 of the Warren City Charter be amended to continue the annual levy of up to 4.6176 mills on taxable value of property located in the city for 5 years to sustain police and fire safety protection. If renewed, this millage would renew the police and fire safety protection millage levy expiring after the 2025 levy, beginning with the July 2026 levy and continuing through the 2030 levy. The millage will raise in the first year of such levy estimated revenues of $21,332,963. Pardon me? Million. $21,332,963. And I would mention that when originally this millage was first went out for approval was in 2012, and since that time, the rate of inflation is at 24% since that time. So it's bringing us back to just about where we were then. And this past Sunday, the president of the Warren Professional Firefighters wrote an editorial that I would like to read. I can do that, his opinion. Can I do that? The facts? Okay. I will just share some of the comments. In Warren, public safety has always been a cornerstone of our community. Families, businesses, and neighborhoods thrive when they know help is just a call away. On the upcoming ballot, you, the voters, will decide whether to renew the police and fire millage, a measure that ensures our first responders have the resources they need to keep us safe. This renewal will not raise taxes. Instead, it continues existing funding that supports staffing, equipment, training, and emergency response. Without it, both departments face budget shortfalls that could mean fewer officers and firefighters, slower response times, and reduced readiness in emergencies. The renewal continues the existing 4.6176 mill rate that funds Warren's police, fire, and EMS. It costs the average household less than $1 a day with no increase. The Warren Police and Fire Departments are more than services, they are lifelines. Every day, these men and women put themselves at risk to protect our families, our homes, and our livelihoods. Strong public safety also makes Warren a more attractive place to do business and raise a family, boosting both safety and economic growth. When someone's having a heart attack or when a family's home is on fire, seconds matter, said Joe Shear, president of Warren Professional Firefighters Local 1383. This renewal ensures we have the staffing and equipment to respond in time to save lives. And I will end there. And I am done with my comments. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Dwyer.
Yeah, I would just like to follow up on what Councilwoman Moore had to say. And yes, the average household right now pays less than $1 a day to sustain police, fire, and emergency services with our current public safety millage. Remember, this is only a renewal. Voting no would lead to at least 20 police officers being cut, as well as 20 firefighters. Do the residents really want to roll the dice when the safety and welfare of your family is at stake? Response times will be longer, and if you or a loved one are in need of immediate attention to an in-progress crime or immediate medical attention for such things as a heart attack or respiratory arrest, where every second counts, remember your vote on the millage may very well affect the outcome. I've been in law enforcement for nearly 40 years, including time with the Detroit Police Department. Needless to say, I have seen a lot. I just want to ensure that all of us are safe and secure. So please vote yes in November on the police millage. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional announcements.
I do. I gotta bring it up. I'm sorry.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, he can go.
I'd just like to add a little bit more to the millage and the police and fire. Consider the millage like an insurance policy. I mean, I don't like to put it that way, but if you have an insurance policy for your car or your home, you may never use it. But then that one time you need it, they are there. And that's something to remember that. I recall when an officer happened to be in a hotel on Van Dyke and a young boy started drowning in the water. He was unconscious. That officer being there saved his life. So if you think eliminating jobs, because you want to save a couple of dollars, my house insurance goes up every year, my car insurance goes up. I understand that. But the protection for the city, the residents, their families, we have to keep that. And if we lose that, chances are we're going to lose everything else the city holds. And I'm asking that,
Yeah,
We can't say yes or no.
Yeah.
We cannot
No,
tell
I'm not-
anyone how to vote. Okay.
I
just so you know.
understand that. And I just want you to understand my feelings towards this.
Thank you. Mel?
Hello, I know, I've
Ms.
received
McGee.
calls regarding the property taxes, and just want to announce that there will be a property tax town hall on September the 29th that will be given by our own City of Warren treasurer, which is Lori Barnwell, along with State Representative Mike McFall. It will be on the 29th of September on a Monday from 6 to 7 p.m., located at the UAW Region 1. That's 27800 Morale Drive in Warren. So that will be on September the 29th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yep, and then I will come back to you, Wendy. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Mr. Lafferty, sorry.
On Saturday, a number of us attended a picnic at Helmich Park honoring CERT and the number of members throughout the years. We were treated to a wonderful picnic lunch of hot dogs and hamburgers, and then a presentation of awards for members that had the most hours of service and the most years of service. And so this was a program that started in the early 2000s. I believe one of our council members was one of the founding members, the class of one of the founding classes here, Ms. McGee, and how she got her start. So she shared a story with me with Jewel Souls as we talked about the old days. And these are the people that you see directing traffic when the lights are out and the police are racing towards a serious emergency. These are the people that you see protecting an area of a downed wire. These are the people that you see directing traffic for a big public event occurring in the city. And we owe them every debt of gratitude. They are an asset to our city, and we thank them for their service each and every day. They are a complement to our public safety and enable our public safety, our police and fire department to go above and beyond each and every day. So they are there to answer the call of duty, and they are all volunteers. So for their annual picnic, thank you for your service to the City of Warren.
Thank you. Ms. Moore.
Sunday, the Warren Police Department faced off with the Sterling Heights Police Department in a Battle of the Badges baseball game at Jimmy John's Field. 5th year in a row, Warren won. They won 15-2 this year. It was a very short game. It was fun though. The Police Honor Guard was there. They did a great job, and Commissioner Hawkins was there, and Deputy Commissioner Rushton, and lots of police officers were there playing, but there were many there just spectating and watching and cheering on the team. Lots of kids were there. They had, and the money that our share is covering the Explorer program, which is, I think she's the administrator of that program, Crystal Lejean. So great job to all of them. The canines were there. Yeah, they were always a big hit. So that, and one other thing I'd like to mention, I would like to congratulate David Rent, who was approved tonight, or not disapproved, to be continue his time on the Historical Commission. He's been the chairperson, and they've really had a lack of members in the last couple of years. They just do a great job. And if there's anybody out there that's interested in being on the Historical Commission, please come forward, because it's really important that we continue that work so that we can, I don't know if any of you have gone across the hall and walked through the Historical Commission's display there, but it's quite interesting, and they work really, really hard to preserve our history. And also, congratulations to Carol Peterson on her appointment to the Beautification Commission. I think she has been on since the beginning, and that's a very long time. And she was chairperson at one time. She's still a member, and she happens to be my son-in-law's grandmother. So she's, sort of a family member to me. So congratulations to both of them. Thank you.
Any other announcements? I have one quick one. The Planning Department has been leading the charge on the active mobility plan, and they asked for me to share that there'll be a public review of the plan on October 6th at 7 p.m. in the community center, which I assume would be in this room, but it wasn't clear. That is the end of audience. Next item.
Next item is 10B, which is a public hearing. Request to approve the demolition of a house at 2199 Emmons through the nuisance abatement program.
If someone from the city staff, Mr. Lezay, could you summarize this for us? You've got a couple, you might as well get comfortable. I will call for audience.
All right, good evening, council. This is a kind of unusual house. I've been working on this house for, had 4 hearings in the last year. I mean, here's just a sample, how many letters I've sent out on this property. It's a boarded house, vacant. It was kind of unusual when I first started this house. When I came across this house on a complaint, I went out and it was a boarded house. There was someone actually, when I went to post it on Safe, someone actually opened the door and took the unsafe structure sticker off the door and then closed the door. So after I did have the hearings with the owner, I guess it was a family member that had been staying there. The water had been shut off at this house since 2017. So there's no water service at this property. It's completely boarded with some unusual graffiti around the whole house, if you've seen the pictures in the file. And so I had hearings. The owner appeared at our second hearing, and nobody showed up at our last hearing in April 24th. So I had 4 hearings on this. Once in October, I had another one in November of 24. I had a 3rd hearing in February of this year, 25, and then I had a 4th hearing, and nobody showed up at that hearing, and that was April 24th of 25. But now I thought the house was going to be in the tax revert list, but there was one payment made a year ago, a partial payment for taxes, which obviously kept it off the county foreclosure list to be sold. So I went by there today, as it is right now, water is off, home is still boarded and vacant. So.
Thank you, Mr. Lezay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, are you the petitioner? Do you live there? Are you in the neighborhood coming to speak about the? Okay, so you are the petitioner. You're welcome to come up and speak. And if you could give your name for the record.
My name is Queen Luchu, and I have been going through problems with the home. I did let a person of interest, my kid's father, Robert Nichols, live there. He was supposed to take care of the property. He didn't. I couldn't get him out. I had been contacting with Paul Lezay. That's who I went through. I did make a payment to try to save the house because I did finally get him evicted. He boarded up the house. He wrote all over the house. He destroyed the inside of the house. I just went in there today and looked. It's total, but I do have help in getting the repairs done now. I have a lot of people that's gonna support me to get the house back up and get the boards off and make it look like a decent home for that street.
Okay, so the way this hearing works is you have a seat. You actually can't speak from the audience. So if council has any questions for you, we'll call you back up.
Okay.
But you can have a seat close by so that if we have any questions for you, we can.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Is there anyone who, from the audience, who wants to speak on this matter? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing and turn it over to council for action.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Moore,
I would like to direct a couple of questions to the homeowner, if I could, please.
can we get a motion and support first?
Motion to approve.
With this-
Support with discussion.
Thank you. Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. Ma'am, if you could come to the podium again. I have a couple questions. One, do you have an estimate of the cost of repairs to the home?
In the inside, the drywalling was gonna be about 3,000. I have to put in a new toilet, a sink. I have to correct the, kitchen area. I have to do a circuit breaker because he took all the circuits out of the box. So I have to redo all of that. I do have someone, well, the electrician part, I have to get a contractor for that. But as doing the drywalling and all that stuff, I already have someone to do that.
What, do you have a timeline for that?
I'm starting the drywalling next week. And, this Friday, I'm doing Terminex for the raccoons that live there.
Okay.
So,
Oh, thank you very much. Maybe Mr. Lezay has some, can add
I got a question.
to
Well, the
that.
issue we have is it's a post-vacant house, so the first thing we would need before we did any work on the house would be a city certification, special permit issue.
I mean,
And then-
just the permits are gonna be 800 or
I
1,000.
mean, but I mean, for
right?
us, I guess the owner's first step would be to come to the building department and get, she was to work on it, we would have to have a city certification. Then all our trades would come out, building, plumbing, mechanical, electrical, zoning, come out, do their violation reports, and then those are the lists. We'd work off that, any permits required per violation sheet, just like standard procedure. So, can't start working until we do get city certs on that. That's one thing I wanted to make clear. You can't just start drywalling a house without.
Right. I know. You have to get a inspection for the drywall nails.
Thank you, Mr. Lezay. Ms. Moore? do you have any-
I'm done.
Okay. Ms. McGee?
My question, had you not received the letters that were sent?
You can come back up to the podium.
He said he sent out several letters and you had not shown up for,
they were sent to 2199 Emmons, and that's where he was residing.
okay.
So he basically took all the mail and just tore it up. Or like he said, he posted things on the house, but I had no idea until I went to one meeting and he showed me the pictures of how the house looked. And I was telling Mr. Lezay, I'm literally was scared to go over there because he used to threaten my life all the time. So the mental state was where I can't go over there. So he told me how to get him out the house, and which I did. And when I went in, like I said, he did some damage.
Were you aware that you had to have this certification? Because no one showed up to the meeting.
No, but I'm willing to do the certifications.
Okay.
Madam President,
Mr. Noonan?
you say you say you have raccoons and you want to get Terminex to rid you of the raccoons.
They said they'll put traps down to catch them.
Do you have any idea how long the raccoons have been there?
My neighbor, like I said, when I first went over there to really see the house after he got out, my neighbor let me know that she had seen them about a week ago. She has seen a family of them.
Okay, so you really don't know how long the raccoons have been there?
No.
Okay, because the reason why I say that is because my mom let raccoons live in the attic of a farm she had in Emmett, Michigan. She let them live there for years. She was somewhat eccentric in that regard. She cared more about 4-footers than 2-footers. And I found out that there's a type of virus which raccoons can carry. It doesn't mean the ones in your house have carried it, but it becomes more and more airborne the longer it's been there and it dries out. And it can send people to hospitals. And so we had to tear down the house because the house became actually a health problem. And I'm sorry to say this because I feel that you're very attached to this house. And sometimes the city council is lenient and says, well, you have up until like 2 months from now to get X amount accomplished. If you get that accomplished, then we'll consider holding off or changing course. But right now, the motion is to approve the demolition of your house.
Okay.
And so you say that you're willing to go through the process of what Mr. Lizet said.
The
What-
certifications.
Yeah.
The city certification.
So you're believing that there are various people who are willing to help. You have to find out all the, if you're going to do this, you'd have to find out all the permits that were involved and be sure to get them and get the work started, I would say. And would 2 months be satisfactory to hold off on this? Okay, I'm not seeing any,
I would agree to a month, but I need to know if she's gonna complete it within a certain
Mr.
time.
Nunes still
He's
has
got,
the floor.
Okay.
he's got questions.
Yeah, and John, Mr. Lafferty has the
okay.
floor.
I'll drop this point for now so I can hear from the other council people.
Okay.
Mr. Lafferty?
Thank you. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I'm looking at the tax history, and it appears that taxes have not been paid since 2020.
Yes, because he was there.
So, but the taxes are in arrears, at least there are sporadic history prior to that from 2015, pretty consistently unpaid 2015 on, and the current year is also due. So this house is in arrears of taxes 10 years.
When I went to put down on the taxes, she said I only owed 1,400.
I can see,
Cause I took 1,500 to her, and she told me my balance was 1,400 and something.
all right, yeah, and most of the times when it's going back this far, these records are with the county. So you may have additional taxable burden that you have to satisfy, which is going to add to the total that you need to invest into this home somewhat substantially. So I'm concerned there. And then Mr. Lizet, you said that I'm sorry, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Lizet? So you have not been inside the house?
No, I have not.
Okay, so you've got just a visual on the outside?
Yeah, once a home becomes boarded in the city, it becomes an unsafe structure. You cannot board a residential home in the city without, now it's an unsafe structure.
Mr. Lizet, I didn't hear what you said.
I'm sorry, the house, we have I have not been inside the house, no.
Okay.
But obviously, I mean, when I'm listening to the owner, it sounds like I'm not sure, there was, like she stated, the guy that was there, he was very combative when anybody came around. that kind of
Understood.
thing, and
Understood.
obviously didn't take care of the property.
Okay, so the way I prefer to approach this is to have Mr. Lizet perform an inspection, get access to the house, perform an inspection, and understand if the structure is worth saving. I need to understand the bones of the house, and then get the reports back. That is the only thing that I'm willing to delay on at this point. With the taxes unpaid and the other repairs, that's a whole nother story. So I don't have much confidence at the moment that these repairs are going to be made and the city be made whole at this point. So that is.
Do you want to make that motion, Mr. Lafferty?
There are, unless,
I just have a couple more questions. like that.
I'll wait for the tabling motion, and I'll select a date here while Ms. Moore gives her comments.
Madam Chair. Mr. Lizet, was this home listed was it registered as a rental? And were the taxes changed to non-exempt or homestead?
No, this was not a rental. This house has been vacant for quite some time. It was posted vacant, I believe in my spec sheet, I have the information.
Yeah, how long's it been vacant?
This home was posted vacant I believe 10 years ago. I made an inspection.
10 years.
There has been, the water was shut off in 2017. Here's my spec sheet. All right, so I basically went off the water usage of the vacancy for 8 years. There were city certs that were issued way back in, what did I write, 14, 15, and 16. Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever came of those. So this house has basically been vacant for probably 10 years, I'll probably say, an estimate. The water was actually shut off and has remained off since 17.
I just don't see that the history doesn't give me any confidence that something is gonna be done now. It's not fair to the neighbors, and especially if we have vermin, raccoons in the house. I know what kind of damage they can do to a home, and I don't have any confidence. I think the inside of the house is gonna be just a mess, and I'm not willing to let this go on any longer for this neighborhood. We have too many places around town that we're spending years and years and years where neighbors have to look at vacant houses, boarded up, not taken care of, and, you know, this is just going to get kicked down the road, and we're gonna end up voting to demolish it in 6 weeks or 8, whatever it is. I think we just need to approve this tonight and just end this suffering. Thank you.
Mr. Lafferty?
I'm gonna
No,
make a
I
motion
was
to
just
table.
gonna say that
Thank you.
I just agree with you, Councilman Lafferty, that we should at least get an inspection on the inside of the home. I understand that it's behind, but we should at least have Mr. Lezay to take a look at the inside of the home. And that shouldn't take more than 30 days, right?
I was gonna
It's,
ask.
what,
Mr. Lezay.
Yeah.
electrical is 8
Yeah.
weeks out.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Mr. Lafferty.
So, Mr. Lezay, one more question, Mr. Lezay? How long do you need to get into the house and have the violation reports written up and a structural review performed?
Well, if Ms. Lotu was to come in and pay the $300 for the city certs, I imagine we have to arrange for all 5. Basically, the owner would have to arrange for all 5 of our inspectors to get in to do all their inspections, which probably would be within a couple of weeks. I'd say we're probably not booked out longer than that. I would imagine that all 5 could get out there, building, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, and zoning. And then they can all create their violation sheets, and then the owner would have a list, would have her 5 lists to go off of.
All right. If I gave you until the 28th of October, would that be sufficient for you to get reports back to us?
Yeah, I'm sure that would, I mean, I think we'd be able to, if the owner is willing to come in and pay for the city certs and get us out there, we could get them done by then. I don't see any issues with that.
All right.
That's all on
1 week.
our owner.
But the caveat to that is that the homeowner come in and make all of those arrangements prior to our next meeting. Otherwise, I will be more than willing to entertain bringing this forward at the next meeting to disposition this. We have to have some assurances here that this is going to happen.
Yes.
I have one more question. Madam Chair, if I may,
You yield?
can I ask a question?
Go ahead and ask a question.
Mr. Lezay, when the city certs were applied for in whatever you said, 20, whatever, was an inspection done at that point?
Yeah, there were inspections, nothing ever, there were only initial inspections performed, and nothing was ever fixed.
But we have the.
I'm not sure if our current owner was the owner then. She may not have been. I'm going off what I had in the system, which was, the most recent was almost 10 years ago. 2014, where there were certs issued, 15, there were certs issued, and 16. Nothing was ever passed in any of the inspections.
Nothing passed.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, nothing's gonna get better in 10 years. I guarantee you, if a house sits vacant, it just deteriorates and deteriorates and deteriorates. So,
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Mr. Lafferty?
I move to table this item
Ma-
to, to date certain,
Did have a question.
Tuesday, October 28th.
Mr. Lafferty, Mr. Boyke had a question that he wanted to ask.
I didn't want to interrupt
I'm
earlier.
sorry,
Is
I
it-
will withdraw my motion to table.
Thank you. We'll let you give it again in a moment. Mr. Boyke, go ahead.
If you could approach. Those notices that were sent, were they all to one address, or did you try other addresses?
No, yes, after, basically after our first one, then finally Queen and I spoke, and then I got her home address. So then I was able to get her phone number and send her the notices to where she was living.
Okay.
And that's when she did
And
inform me
when did that occur?
somebody who had been living there, she was trying to evict them, and she sent me the papers for the court to try to get that person out of the house, because she couldn't even get to the house because the person was very combative. And we had our third hearing where she was still in process of removing that gentleman. Then, so we delayed all the way to our fourth hearing, but nobody showed up at the fourth hearing. I did have discussion with the owner on March 3rd, and that's when I got sent the court docs to remove the gentleman who was staying there. So we held off the hearing until April 24th, and that's when nobody appeared at that hearing. So the hearing officer declared it a public nuisance and scheduled to come here in front of council.
So with that information, you had contact with the petitioner?
That's because I was, after our first hearing, I did get, find out her actual residence, was able to send letters to her.
I feel there's sufficient notice to the petitioner. I'm not inclined to give any more leeway on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Lafferty, please. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to table this item until Tuesday, October 28th.
Support Noonan.
I will call the question. Mr. Lafferty,
Yes to table.
Mr. Noonan,
Yes to table.
Mr. Dwyer,
No to table.
Mr. Boyke,
No to table.
Ms. Moore,
Absolutely not.
Ms. McGee.
Yes, the table.
Rogan C is a no. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 no's. Motion does not, the item is not tabled.
I renew my motion to approve.
Support.
Support Mr. Boyke. I will call the question. Ms. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Boyke,
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty,
No.
Mr. Noonan,
No.
Ms. McGee.
No.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next item is a public hearing, request to approve the demolition of a house and shed at 5458 Topher through the nuisance abatement program.
Mr. Lizay, could you summarize this matter for us?
All right, fire damage home. This fire incident occurred April 2nd, 2025 this year. We posted it on SAFE on the 10th. It is believed that the owners of this property are deceased, and I believe, I did get some information today, but basically, somebody's been basically squatting in this house for a long time since the owner's been deceased. The house, right now, the house remains fire damaged. I did notice when I went there today that there was a winterization letter on the front and a lockbox. So I did call the winterization company and spoke with them and told them that there was a hearing for this. So I found out from a property manager, obviously hired from a mortgage company, that is in pre-foreclosure. But the house still remains in fire damaged condition. It's a block from the school, and nobody has contacted me on this. And that's where we're at with it. Gas is pinned off, electrical meter is removed, and that's it. You know, it's fire damaged property. I believe maybe the bank is working on this property, but nobody. It's clean, but it's still fire damaged, boarded, unsafe structure.
Thank you, Mr. Lizay. Is anyone from the owner's petitioner from this property here to speak? And can you give your name for the record?
My name is Robert Briggs. I do contract work for ZVN Property Preservation. We're the ones who winterize the property, and we have been inside.
Okay. You can have a seat, and, because you're not the actual petitioner, correct? You're just a vendor doing the work?
Well, I work with ZVN, and I am a licensed contractor.
But you're not the owner of the property?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this matter? Okay, I will close the sorry.
Madam Chair?
You don't want to speak? Okay. So I will close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Support with discussion.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Quickly, are there taxes owed on this property, Mr. Lezay?
I'm showing in my spec sheet the taxes are paid,
Thank you.
which is unusual about this house is, I believe the owner, what I heard today was it may have been a family member, somebody had passed, a family member had been living there, I think with a boyfriend, the family member had passed, and I believe this boyfriend had been living in this free house, basically maintaining and living there, but I've heard that it was,
Pretty
heard
bad.
there were some issues there.
Yeah.
Now it burned down,
Yeah,
not
it's
burned
burned
down,
down.
but we had a fire there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, I heard.
That's where we're at
Yeah.
right now.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 10D, which is an administrative hearing, which was tabled August 26, 2025, demolition of a house at 7215 Jackson through the nuisance abatement program.
Need to remove this from the table.
Motion to remove from the table.
Support.
Thank you. Let's see, I will call the question. Ms. Moore? Sorry, Mr. Lafferty?
Yes to remove from the table.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion, or item is off the table.
Public, it's an administrative hearing.
We can get an update from Mr. Lezay.
Yes, I spoke with both our economic developer, Hunter Menikis, and the proposed buyers, which are, I think they were at our last hearing, the licensed contractors from Structure Construction. And right now, I believe they are drawing up the documents and getting ready to propose a closing date so the licensed contractors can buy the property from us and repair it.
What do you suggest we do? Table it? Sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, we could table that. I mean, this, obviously, right now, I believe in legal, they are preparing a closing
Okay.
date. That's where we're at with
Might
that.
as well deny it.
Deny it?
Mhm.
Just deny it? Motion to deny.
Support to deny.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes to deny.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Next item.
Next item is 11A, proposed ordinance amendments to Chapter 22, criminal offenses relating to domestic assault and protective order violations, second reading. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11B, proposed ordinance amendments to Chapter 2, Article 6, Division 4, purchasing, first reading. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Yes, we're going to schedule a committee meeting of the whole in between the second reading. This is, as you'll remember, perhaps, in the 19, 20 to 23 council term, we passed a responsible contracting ordinance. When we came into office in 23, we were asked to put a moratorium on that, and we did so. Now, unfortunately, it's 2 years later. I'm glad to see this because I'm the one that's gotten the heat the whole time. I get every union member calling me around why this has not been on the agenda. I checked almost a year ago and said, let me bring in the, you know, the contractor, see what's going. They said, oh, that was done a year ago. So why it's taken 2 years, have no idea, but I'm glad we're at least at some point where we can start talking about this again. We'll set up a committee meet the whole, because this is pretty comprehensive, because we're changing the whole kind of thing. So we'll set up a committee meet the whole sometime before we do the second reading, and maybe we can combine that with the Van Dyke corridor one. That shouldn't take long.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11C, which is request to approve the 2025-2026 Emergency Housing Assistance and Related Supportive Services Agreement with the Oakland Livingston Human Services Agency. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? I have a question that's probably for Ms. Michaels. Is there any provision in the contract that would protect us if HUD claws back funding, or, I don't know, HUD decides to not exist anymore? Because the money is coming from HUD, correct?
Correct.
So is there anything that would protect us with the vendor if HUD were to claw back funding?
Yes, if this is the landlord situation, obviously it's subject to availability of funding. So if we're cut off, then our obligation ends.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair. That's good. Ms. Michaels,
Good.
just to clarify, we're basically a third-party administrator of funds that we're not funding it ourselves. We are using the federal government money to get it out locally, correct?
Correct. We're an agent of the federal
Right.
government.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing and hearing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes?
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11D, request to approve the agreement between the City of Warren and the Oakland Livingston Human Service Agency for administration of a master leasing plan. So moved.
Support Noonan.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11E, request to approve the agreement between the City of Warren and the Oakland Livingston Human Service Agency for administration of a tenant-based rental assistance program. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12A, legal update.
Thank you. Just a couple items today. First, on the Housing Commission, reform to the ordinance and a potential agreement between the city and the Housing Commission for the operation of the housing facilities. I received Ms. Michaels' markups to the draft ordinance, and we're getting close to being able to present something to both the Housing Commission and the City Council, some long overdue reforms to the way our ordinance is drafted vis-a-vis the state law that authorizes housing facilities. We do have a housing commissioner who did receive correspondence from the city clerk that said housing commissioner has $5,700 in arrears to the city for various fines and what we call in default to the city. The clock is running on this commissioner to pay the city, or at the end of 30 days, that position will be vacant per the charter. So we're monitoring that situation. We also have some marijuana ordinance reforms coming. Councilman Boyke sat in a meeting we had several months ago, and there's a lot of cleanup and different things we need to do to the marijuana ordinances. and that should be coming soon. And finally, there's another project in the works. There's a long-term project potentially to bring a lot of housing to the city, workforce-type housing to the city. And in just through my work on the land bank with Councilman Lafferty and Councilwoman Moore, we've seen that there's a lot of sort of infill lots in the city, meaning there's a lot of lots where there's no home, it's in a neighborhood, it's a buildable lot, but they're not all together, they're sort of scattered throughout the city. So there's a developer who's going to bring what we call a pilot project to develop 2 homes, and the city council will have to approve some of the agreements that go along with this, and we're hoping to get these 2 homes in front of the council at some point before the end of the year to approve them so they can be built next year. And if it's successful, there could be dozens, if not dozens, hundreds of more following if this works out. It's very exciting. I had meetings last week with the attorney's office, the assessor's office, the planning office, and so we're working on, getting the land bank input, city council, everybody. So that's going very well so far, so we'll be bringing that soon.
Madam Chair, just to follow up just on what Mr. Schroeder was saying, one of the things I'm finding, I've been attending conferences on land bank, and it's a lot of infill, and you have a small lot, and one of the things that almost everyone does is change the zoning so that you can put a little house on a small lot, or maybe a multiple. I talked to Ms. McGee today, and one of the things I thought was really exciting was that the land bank had built some duplexes, and they sold it to one person, and so that person immediately had an income property next to them. And I thought that was really a great idea, that could really lift someone's life up, and there's really some cool things, to do, and I'm learning a lot. I'm picking up everything I go to. I'm no expert by any means, but I am learning a little bit, and all of these things I think are gonna kind of work together. This group that's coming in to do some infill projects, there's a lot of incentives right now because there's such a shortage on workforce housing, and there's incentives for pilot and gap and insurance, because one of the things we're learning, and I learned at the land bank, no one can build anything right now at market rate. The price is so high to develop. You have to have incentives or nobody will be able to build anything. There is some talk about lifting tariffs on some construction materials and things. Whether that's going to happen, none of us know, but that would ease things a little bit, I think. But anyway, the state has come up with some tools to help developers, so that's kind of a good thing, and we'll probably have more information on that, some of these things later. Yep.
Just respect to the zoning, and I've been monitoring some of the ZBA meetings as well. You'll see in some of the older sections of the city that you have like these setbacks, and you have a small lot, and it doesn't fit without getting variances. So we're working with a very potential creative solution to allow these houses to be built without a legal, proper way to do this without having everybody come get a variance. And so the planning department, the deputy planner, Michelle Catapodis, so she had a very, very creative idea, and we're working on that too. So this is good stuff.
Terrific.
Thank you. Motion to receive and file the legal update.
Motion to receive and file.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Schroeder. Next item.
Next item is a discussion regarding the Elected Officials Compensation Commission. Motion to approve.
Support Lafferty.
Thank you. Madam Chair?
Discussion.
I might need Mr. Schroeder to help me on this to understand. The Elected Officials Compensation Commission is actually governed by state. The state mandates when the meetings will be. We have it in our charter. The rule is that the commission must meet in every odd year. The commission has not met, to my understanding, since 2017. When the new mayor was elected, within a couple of days of that, I approached the mayor and told her that was one of the first things she needed to get done, was that had to meet in 25. There wasn't much time, but I didn't know where we stood. There were members already on that commission at that time. But here we are, fast forward. All of us have had conversations with the mayor. We have suggested potential commission members. And there is, state law says those commissioners must be appointed before October 1st. And since the city council has to confirm them, they are not appointed until council confirmation. So we are beyond the point where this commission can be appointed and meet this year. So we are in violation of state law again. And these decisions may not be made in a special meeting. It has to be a regular meeting of the council. And I'm very disappointed because it has been 2 years since the mayor knew about these requirements, and we have all tried to help so that we are not in violation of state law. And I got a call from someone, I think we all got a call from someone that had had an interview to be on that commission, and was told that those appointments were going to be sent over. They were not sent over, and so now we have missed the point where we can confirm those appointments. And once again, so now the next time that commission can meet and has to meet is 2027. It has been 9 years, I believe, 10, since any raises have been given to any elected officials or any consideration of afterwards. They're supposed to meet every 17. They don't have to give a raise every 2 years, but they need to look at it. The city council, all appointees in the city, all elected officials, we follow the UAW Unit 35. I think it's still Unit 35, Mary, Ms. Michael, sorry. And we follow their benefits and that. I mean, I assume it would make sense for us to look at what those, follow the raises that bargaining unit and to follow through, because none of the elected officials have been given cost of living raises or anything else. We know how expensive everything has gotten these days. We all give up a lot. We miss work to cover things. And in 2 instances, the deputies are making more than the elected official, and that really shouldn't be that way. So I don't know what the answer is. I can't physically make someone do something, send over something for us. I think some priorities need to get straightened out, that we have to look at the charter and make sure we're following almost every single thing we look at that comes up as an issue. We find some mistake, that the bylaws are 20 and 30 and 40 years out of date, and nothing is taken care of. It's been how many years to housing? 2 years since it probably was brought up? And you know, the charter has to be followed. It's not just, it's not a guideline. It's the law for us. So I'm very disappointed. I don't know what to tell you all. I tried my best. I know everybody tried to get people to apply, and I sent people to apply, and I heard like, oh, we only need 2 people. I sent people to apply, but I didn't get a word back saying, oh, we still need 1. And so it's just this lack of communication that is very, very disappointing and frustrating, certainly in something like this. Once again, we're in violation of state law, and it's unfortunate. Thank you.
Madam President?
Any other discussion?
There's no point in trying to go to the Michigan Attorney General and get some kind of exception. That wouldn't be a possibility, right?
I mean, there's no real exception to the law, right? The law gives an obligation to the city to appoint this commission by October 1st in an odd year. They shall meet, it says shall meet, but if you don't have members, you can't meet, right? So you need to have at least a quorum of members in order to meet. So there's really no remedy here. The Attorney General has no jurisdiction to make an exception. It's a very clear-cut path to do this, and it just hasn't happened.
Okay.
Question.
Ms. McGee?
Could you not have, I know I asked you this already, Secretary, could you not have like a emergency meeting for us to verify within 24 hours if she was to submit it to us tomorrow? So that they can meet on October 1st?
Microphone.
I'm saying if they submitted the applicants to us tomorrow to verify, and we all agreed, we can move forward by October 1st for their first meeting.
Jeff, I'm sorry, I can't hear
Your
you.
microphone.
Regular meeting, you'll have to look that.
You need to look, your microphone. We can hear you.
We'll have to look into that. Thank you.
Take a recess? Make a motion to recess for 10 minutes.
Support. All in favor?
Aye.
We are recessed.
The mayor's secretaries make more than the council.
Good call. Yeah, it takes forever to get this stuff done.
All right, we are back. Next item.
Next item,
Actually, sorry, we're still on the election commission.
yes.
The compensation committee.
Thank you. Do we want to motion to receive and file, or do folks have additional?
Madam Chair, I would just note that we have asked for a call to be made to the mayor and invited her to get that information over to us now. We did find out that, maybe Mr. Schroeder wants to explain it, but we thought we had to go by our city charter, but state law preempts that, and you could explain that perhaps.
The Elected Officials Compensation Commission is a creature of state law. It's not a creature of the charter. As such, it replaces the charter. And what's interesting is an ordinance was passed to allow the charter to be circumvented under state law. This happens a lot. It's called a notwithstanding provision. And so the procedure here is that there are 7 members on this commission in the city of Warren because we have a population of over 20,000. The members have to be registered voters in the city, appointed by the mayor, subject to confirmation by majority members of the city council. So it's not one of those appointments where the mayor appoints and the council can terminate it. It needs city council approval. There's no requirement that it be done at a regular meeting, like the city charter provision about administrative appointments by positions created by charter. So this is a bit of a maze at times to look at state law and the charter and our ordinances, but very confident that this is, the state law prevails here. And, you know, the council could approve, but you need a majority members of the council. So you would need 4 votes of city council to approve each and every member that would be appointed. And this needs to be done before October 1st, and there's no exception.
Thank you.
Thank you. And one more question. Mr. Schroeder, does this follow the same procedure that the clerk has to be notified first or not?
No, the clerk would not have to be notified first, although it would be a good procedure. The state law does not require that. Again, this is not a charter-based appointment, it's a state law.
Yeah, and I would also state that to have a special meeting, we have to have 5 people present at a special meeting. And, you know, and we have to have 18 hours notice to call that meeting. So we'll try to work that out if the mayor sends that over. Right. Yeah, I mean, I would think that that would at least give us time to make phone calls and vet the people that are being, because I do have questions about them, because I've heard some comments that were made during their interviews, and I would like to confirm some of the things I did hear. So, I mean, I may not be present, so somebody else will have to ask my questions for me. But I will certainly try to be here, but I'm working on California time this week, so it makes it a little difficult for me. But. So I will make a motion to table this item.
Support to table.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Item is tabled.
Thank you. The next item is 12C, which is legal action following closed session. I would make a motion to hire the firm of Cott Sangster to represent the city in the matter regarding a city facility per discussion in closed session on the same terms and condition as the firm's current engagement with the city. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12D. Mr. Noonan has asked for an opportunity to discuss the Van Dyke Corridor Plan. Motion to approve.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Mr. Noonan.
Thank you kindly. So, to my fellow city councilors, I've asked Mary Camp to forward the MSU Practicum Warren Van Dyke Corridor Implementation Plan, which she's done. And there's a link down near the start of the conversation where you can download the implementation plan. When I originally challenged our voting in favor of the Van Dyke Corridor Plan, it was just, I wanted to know that it was going to get implemented. I didn't want it just to be a fancy document floating out there. And they went to great effort to figure out how to implement it with the help of Wayne State University. And I think that some of your answers for the outstanding questions you might have might be in that. So I'd ask you to download it and take a look. Also, I'd like to ask, are there any outstanding questions that you know of right now that I could take down and help get considered? Anybody have any outstanding questions about the Van Dyke Corridor Plan that's holding them up from wanting to approve it?
Madam Chair. Mr. Noonan, the discussion that I suggested that we have, and this was following our initial discussion, our committee of the whole, when it was initially presented to us, is that we come back to a committee of the whole and we have a thorough review and presentation by the planning department. We also include the representative from Beckett and Rader, and we also have representation from the city of Centerline. If you recall, there were a number of issues that we didn't understand how our portion of the corridor plan connected with Centerline, what their plans were when they were considering implementing, if they were considering implementing, and so there seemed to be a lack of vision and across that section, at least our section, from the neighboring businesses. And what were we going to approve if we didn't know what the plans were for the commercial, the commercial lots? We had many questions at that committee of the whole. All were left unanswered. So it's absolutely not ripe for council discussion, at least not in this forum, but a committee of the whole where we can have a more thorough and thoughtful discussion.
I see. That sounds great. Okay. Thank you for illuminating this realm. I yield.
Any other discussion? I don't think this item needs a motion.
No.
Okay,
Receive and file?
yeah, receive and file. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next item.
Next item is 13A, proposed resolution and agreement with Clinton River Watershed Council for stormwater community education services, consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13B, request of the Police Department to award ITBW 1683 to furnish 4 electric police patrol mobility scooters to Trike Tech, Inc. in a total amount of $53,392, consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved with discussion.
Support Dwyer.
Madam Chair?
Dwyer, discussion. Ms. Moore?
Thank you. Deputy Commissioner Rushton is here to answer our questions. I do understand that this is a grant program, and that's what is allowing us to purchase these, I call them Paul Blatt mall things, but I'm not.
Yeah, we researched these approximately 18 months ago. While researching it, we looked into funding and were able to obtain a community policing grant to purchase these. Some of the uses for them obviously will be the large events we have, like the fireworks show we just had a few weeks ago, the drone shows and stuff. It allows us to get through a crowd of people where there's heavy traffic and events like that, or city fairs, more safely. And the officers can obviously respond to emergencies if we had one quicker.
How fast do they go?
Just about 35 miles an hour.
So we can't catch up with those little smart Alecs on their dirt bikes running through town?
I don't know if we want to race any of them.
I know they find it quite amusing at times when they sneak in places we can't get with a patrol car. So, okay, I just wanted everybody to know this is a grant, and we'll look forward to, they're kind of taking the place of bicycles.
They are, and they're more, again, because of their speeds that they can go, and again, for safety reasons, they're actually an upgrade. It's the new thing in policing, replacing the bicycles.
Great, cool, thank you very much.
Any other discussion? I have a quick question. Is, as a part of the grant, are there any maintenance or costs included, or is it just the cost of the scooters themselves?
It is the cost of the scooters. They do come with a warranty, and offhand, I do not know the length of the warranty. I
Okay.
apologize.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I did hear that from some other people that had these, that can be some costly maintenance issues with them, but that may have gotten better over the years. I'm sure they have. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is request to approve the reappointment of Joseph Chupa to the Police and Fire Civil Service Commission. So moved.
Support.
Support Boyke. Any discussion?
Madam
Hearing-
Chair? Just to thank him, he's been on here for a long time, and appreciate his service and his willingness to take on another term.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13D, request to approve the appointment of Erdine Hicks to the Senior Healthcare Commission for a term to expire June 30th, 2028. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 14, which is audience participation for general, did I miss something?
Point of order.
Sorry, Mr. Fox. The next item is 13E, which is consideration and adoption of a resolution to award bid and approve contract for city project ITBW 1558 dewatering and incineration improvements to the low bidder FH Pashlin, SN Nielsen and Associates LLC in the adjusted bid amount not to exceed $110,300,000 and authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a contract. So moved.
Support Lafferty. Discussion?
Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mr. Fox, who's at the
Good
podium.
evening.
Good evening. This is, so we've got the SRF funds already secured,
Correct.
and we approved the bonds at, 2 meetings ago?
That's
So
correct.
the bond and the debt service, so this is the award of contract.
That is correct.
All right, and the only question I had with the resolution, there's a pay item number 3, and the modification for pilot testing results for 200 grand.
I'm gonna let Donna handle that one.
All right.
Good evening, Council. Donna Rodesky,
Good evening, Doctor.
good evening. To answer your question, thank you for your question. To answer the question, this was a contingency item that was included in a bid. However, upon review by state, by Eagle Department, it was determined by them that at the bid time, this item did not qualify for funding because it was contingency item and it was pertaining to an ongoing pilot testing. It's related to emissions. It was determined by Eagle that if during the course of construction that item becomes warranted, then we have to approach Eagle and seek approval of that item for under the SRF funding. So it's still probable that if it became needed during the course of the contract, that they will consider review and approval of that item. But at that time when we were bidding, they said no, contingency at that time was not eligible.
Okay, that makes sense. I just wanted to ask if, and you already answered, the first part of the question. We can approach them. They might say it's an eligible reimbursable expense. Is that how that would work?
That is correct,
Okay.
depending on the results of the pilot test, which was happening at the same time while we're bidding the project. So the results of the testing, of the pilot testing, were not available. But once we know the results, which the test is still pending, and if it becomes needed during the course of construction, that we have the right to approach Eagle for consideration under the SRF funding.
Okay, so, and then to Mr. Fox, this will be a budget line item that we'll have to account for contingency in the water department budget.
That's correct.
So just to cover it, that will be sunk cost, and then we'll seek reimbursement if we get it or not. Otherwise, we're paying for it.
You're right.
Okay, thank you. I have no other questions. Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Mr. Lafferty, are you?
I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Now, audience participation for any item, or no item.
Members of the audience who would like to address City Council this evening may do so by filling out an audience form located at the right side of the stage. This is for general audience items. There is a monitor. You have 3 minutes. If you need a countdown, I'm happy to do that. First up is Georgia Durga, and you have 3 minutes total to talk about both the things that you want to chat about.
First, I wanted to address the flyer that we got and the article that was in the Warren Weekly. And I just had a concern about the planning commissioner being asked to resign because he was talking about property taxes. And I'm sure you all know property taxes are a big issue for us that pay them because they are pricing some of us pretty close to out of our homes. So if misinformation is a problem, there is some misinformation in your flyer, and it the flyer says it costs approximately 70 cents per day. And from what from my math, it shows that that would equal a property value of $55,000. And I can tell you, no home or condo in my neighborhood has a value of $55,000. So the way I calculate it, my daily value is $4. So I think it should read something like an average is, and I would say my condo is probably an average. It's not going to be 70 cents. My other concern is I live in a neighborhood where we don't get garbage pickup or recycling. We have been trying to work with the council and the mayor. I've lived there for 4 years. We get passed from department to department to department. We've spoken with Mr. Lafferty. We've gotten no really consideration. So I am here to beg for your help. We understand that we need to revise our PUD. Once we start talking about that, we get passed around from department to department, no help. So I am asking what we need to do to get our garbage and recycling picked up. We did a study and found that we have paid the city in the last several years close to $1 million for absolutely no service. One of my neighbors had asked for a dumpster, and they wouldn't even give her a dumpster to put out for our own garbage trucks. Our trucks that pick up now that we pay for are the exact same size as the trucks that are used by the city. So that was one of the concerns, so that is not a concern. We're willing to sign a waiver that we were asked to do, and we still have no garbage pickup, no recycling. And I can also tell you, if you are at all concerned about Green Initiative, I can almost guarantee that a lot of the garbage that is put out would be put in a recycling dumpster if the people had one. So I'm begging, I'm asking if you can direct me to someone, Mr. Lafferty. We've talked to you a number of times. I've sent an email a year ago with no response from anyone, including the mayor. September 8th last year I sent that, asking for help. So I'm just here requesting some help and some guidance as to what we can do to amend our PUD to get our garbage and recycling picked up. Got it done.
Thank you. Next is Gary Watts.
Good evening. So what a surprise to learn tonight that our mayor is in violation of the state law on the elected officials' compensation. What a shock. Wonder how much other money that's cost us. So anyways, I wanted to talk about the millage a little bit. As you all know, there's 3 people out there that are shoveling out disinformation on the millage, and they're comparing us to places like Troy. You know, we have a $39 million budget in the fire department, full-time firefighters, and Troy has 10 full-time inspectors and a fully volunteer fire department that's not compensated. They have a $7 million budget. There's no comparison to that. I pointed that out to the individual that's spewing that out, and he will not listen, so it's like banging your head against the wall. Comparing us to Sterling, if you look at the budget numbers on both and the manpowers, the crime, we're a totally different game, and we have to have this. It's got to pass. I think it will pass. But what brings me here again tonight is I emailed the mayor about this, and I got no response. And we have 2 of those 3 people sitting on commissions. And to go against our city like this, it's so unprofessional. They don't deserve to sit on those commissions or boards. And the one of them has a history of being behind in his taxes, and last year's is delinquent, and it looks like this year is going to be delinquent shortly. And you know, I sent the mayor. I think it's been about 30 days. Haven't heard anything, so I guess she'll probably be in violation of the charter for not taking action on that either, which is really sad. You know, you guys took action on another problem, and that should be coming up. So we really should take a look at this somebody might want to take a look at all the boards and commissions, because in my spare time in the evening and between watching TV and what have you, I've been doing my annual look at water bills and taxes, and there's some eyebrow raisers, so some people that are not within the charter. But anyways, let's think positive on the millage, and let's think positive on some hiring. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Douglas Rice, and after Mr. Rice is Lori Harris.
I'm a 16-year resident here in Warren, live on Bunnert Street, Bunnert Road, between 14 Mile and Masonic. It's a pretty nice neighborhood. There's a lot of pride and ownership in that general subdivision. People keep their homes up, their yards up. A lot of families, young families moving in now. But I've been there 16 years, and in 16 years, and 3 of those 16 years I've been retired, so I'm home all day. I'm in the yard doing things, in the backyard doing things. There's almost zero police patrol presence on that street. And mind you, there's 2 schools on that street in the section that I live in. The speeding that occurs on that street is off the hook. I had enough yesterday. I was out in the yard all day, and there was 2 kids racing around in cars doing a minimum of 65 to 70 miles an hour up and down Bunnert multiple times through the day. Called the police, nobody showed. As far as I know, they may have run a car down there once or twice. I've called the police before. I've talked to and emailed the traffic division on suggestions to use one of the 2 speed signs they have available to them. You put it up, you drive past it, it tells you how fast you're going. Statistics show that those signs reduce speed rather dramatically. I would say the average speed of the driver going down Bunnert at any given time of the day is probably 35 to 40 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour residential area. Somebody's going to get killed. A kid's going to get run over. An elderly person's going to get run over. We've had some of our own pets run over out there. I don't know, I just can't see why the city council and the city, law enforcement, traffic division can't find it within themselves to spend $18,000 to buy one of these full-service traffic trailers that do everything but write the ticket for you. We got expensive flock cameras and cameras at every single intersection in the city where there's a traffic light for the most part. Each one of those flock camera systems costs a minimum of $3,000 per camera, plus the labor and installation. I think the city should purchase at least one of these speed limit monitoring trailers. And it basically has a flock camera on it, and it takes the information you need to process and write tickets, if they follow through on it. You drive around the city of Warren, and at least 10% of the flock camera intersections that are out there,
You're at time,
there's
sir.
burnouts underneath the cameras.
You're at time.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next is Lori Harris, and after Lori Harris is Heidi Zimmer. Zimmer? Sure.
Hi, Lori Harris, and I would like to thank the gentleman for speaking, Mr. Wright. Was that your name? Yes. And I am positive that almost every place in our city, we're all dealing with this problem. And it is very frustrating. It's frightening when people go that fast on your residential street. I don't know what the solution is, and it's really not the priority because it's not the most serious thing that the police would respond to until there's a tragedy. I think it's terrible that we need to wait for tragedy. And I wanted to talk about the millage renewal. And I've been pretty proactive at responding to people trying to correct their misinformation in Facebook. And I'm finding that the desire to have the taxes only go for things that people want them to go for, that seems to be an issue. So someone wants our taxes only to pay for education and parks and good things like that, and not the police. I am paying taxes so their kids can go to school, even though my kids are all done with school. There are people that don't have kids that are paying taxes for schools so our children in our community can be educated. But we also deserve to have public safety. And I'm not sure how else we can get the message out, especially in a community where there could be a language barrier. I'm hoping that rational thought will happen, and they will understand that we need our police and our fire, and we need them staffed even better than we have them right now. We are running them ragged. And I also want to mention the library. I don't know if the contract was signed yet for the new library. There was some discussion, I think, between the attorneys, but I'm hoping that will happen very soon and some progress can be made. And there's also been an ad out for a new library director. So if anybody knows someone in the area or out of the area that is looking for a library job, we'd love to meet them. Thank you.
Next is Heidi, I think it's Zimmer, and then after Heidi is Joel Vanderlinden.
Heidi Zimmer, 17468 Tennyson. Hello, Council. In regards to the issue of the property and church of Pastor and Mrs. Ostosh, Harvest Time Christian Fellowship, 9 Mile and Van Dyke, I am asking that the City of Warren, the City Council of Warren, and any and all commission boards can cease and desist all harassment toward them. I have been on the property several times, quite a few times, yea, even many times, while food was being distributed, but I was not there to obtain food. I was there on different business. 100% of all the times that I observed this process going on, I was highly impressed with the orderliness, cleanliness, and organization with which this took place. I used to watch my grandpa fixing watches when I was little. Each wheel or spring would fit perfectly into the next progression of motion. So it is with Harvest Time. Volunteers help carry boxes and bags to the cars of those who were needing to obtain food. Everything is cheerful and refuse is being placed into the trash bin. Everyone stands in line peacefully like a row of obedient school children. Nothing illegal is going on. If I were there around 5:30 p.m., pallets were being removed off of the parking lot and they were all cleaning up after themselves. They have a good system going. Food distribution is an important mission to them and to the community. Please foster and support useful and positive events in the town, i.e. Harvest Time food bank distribution. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Joel Vanderlinden. After Joel Vanderlinden is Clark Corey. I'm not sure if that's first name, last name.
Joel Vanderlyn, longtime Warren resident. It really makes me sick to see a Warren resident come to this microphone and beg for their taxes to be used properly and to have garbage pickup at their home. But that should be no surprise, because you have so many citizens coming to this microphone and begging that we have police officers patrolling our streets because we don't have enough hired. And it's been this way for a while. We're 30 men understaffed. Do we have enough garbage trucks? Do we have enough cans? Yes. Why isn't this being done? That goes to the power of the city. That's the mayor. She's not doing her job. Now this council brought up today that the mayor is breaking the law. She doesn't have this committee put together for possible raises for elected officials. And I have to laugh that you guys all gave her secretaries raises this year on the budget, and they're making 3 times as much as you. You are the second most powerful position in the city of Warren, and secretaries are making more than you. Maybe next time we should lower all their wages and not pass anything until she comes to terms with everything you want. When it comes to the budget next July, we want this, this, and this, or else it's a line item thing and your department sucks. Now, there's a story in the Macomb Daily about Officer Rushton maybe leaving Warren. Now, personally, I don't want Rushton to leave. He's on top of his game. He's worked through all the stress and everything else in his whole career. He's on top of his game. This is when you want him the most, to teach all these new people coming in how to be an officer.
10 seconds, Mr. Vanderlyn.
I'm sorry?
10 seconds.
And then you see, well, we have Eric. Well, we can do without Eric. We did fine.
You're at
without
time,
Mr. Hawkins.
Mr. Vanderlyn.
And Mr. Hawkins can go.
You're
And
at
who-
time, Mr. Vanderlyn, and
who
thank
brought
you.
Eric Hawkins in?
Thank you.
The ma-
Next is Corey Clark. Or Clark Corey, not, you'll have to clarify.
Hello, name is Corey Clark. So I'm here to, I've been trying to purchase a lot for almost 4 years now. I go down to the city building and I talk to the staff there about it, and it seems like I just keep getting the runaround. I mean, I even have like documents here. The property is at 27020 Sylvan. The parcel number is 13-15-380-034. I signed documents. I did everything that they told me to do for the property, and here it is almost 4 years later, and I still don't have it. I don't understand why does it take so long. And when I go down to the city, they keep bringing up about the city. They're gonna pass this and that. So I'm just here to see. I want some help about what can I do to get this property. I don't see why it takes so long, and I'm just asking for help.
We, the members of council can't respond to
Okay.
audience except for me. But we're happy to chat with you after the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Gloria Sanker.
With the death of Charlie Kirk, there's been a lot of talk about free speech In Warren, free speech is given in 3-minute intervals. The audience's free speech is monitored and rarely listened to, since you are usually distracted by other things when we get up to talk. We feel you don't regard what we say as something important or useful. When I invite other residents to come up and speak, they say, why? They never listen to us anyway. You need to have a forum where you consider what is said and determine the usefulness of it rather than ignoring it. Our 3 minutes are mostly monitored by the clock, with your eager anticipation of us getting it over with as quickly as possible. It's as if you really have, you have your mind made up and our contribution adds nothing to change it. There are a lot of fresh ideas coming from the audience that could be useful, but none are taken. Our 3 minutes is a 3-minute censorship. That's all it is. And that is why you don't see new faces come up here. They don't feel welcome. We who do speak get satisfaction from the residents. When they see us, they say thank you for speaking in our behalf. 2 weeks ago, when I was driving in a neighborhood, I saw a lady arranging flowers in her yard. I stopped and complimented her, and she said, I recognize that voice. You speak at council meetings. I said, yes, I do, and I hope you approve of what I say. Oh, she said, oh, yes, and I never miss a council meeting. When you spoke, I knew I heard that voice. That made me smile. There are compliments given to us from time to time as we come here to speak for the good and the welfare of the city. Trying to do good for the public has its own rewards, but it would be nice if you would appreciate it by listening to us. Just as 2 of you aren't listening now, you're talking to each other. Free speech is what makes America great. That's what Charlie Kirk died for. If we could get the politics out of it and the dislike for the speakers who come here, we could accomplish so much more. After all, aren't we all here for the same purpose? To make Warren a better and a good community to live and worship? Thank you.
Thank you. That is the end of audience. Next item.
Next item is council response to audience. Madam Chair.
Ms. Moore.
I would just like to state that we all have to be very careful about comparing cities. For one thing, of the 3 cities that seem to be compared, or someone's trying to compare, Troy, Warren, and Sterling. Warren is very, very old compared to the other cities. We are not going to have the housing growth that either of those cities have because we have been here so long and we're developed. What we have left to develop is mostly infill. I mean, there's some larger parcels, but not like the other cities have. And if you look at Troy, we talked about that they have a volunteer fire department, but they're also newer. If you go down like the 16-mile corridor, all of those buildings are new. So they are built with different, they're constructed with different material, which I would venture to guess are much better in the case of fire. They're almost, every one of them have sprinkler systems, so they're just a totally different comparison. We have our own wastewater treatment plant. Nobody is comparing water rates. I would ask anyone to check water and see how much they're paying for that. And Sterling Heights, the residents have private trash pickup. We have our own sanitation. We have our own jail. So there are a lot of things that Warren has that the other cities don't, and you have to compare other things as well. We also have if not the second, very close to the busiest district court in the state. Second. And that means we have the highest crime rate that we have to deal with. And much of that, we are dealing with Detroit. We are a border to Detroit, and we are a buffer between Warren and Sterling Heights. So comparing those 3 cities is not fair. Also, it was brought up about the, how much it costs a day. That was based on the average SEV of homes in Warren. That is the average, and some people are gonna pay more, some people are going to pay less, and we understand that. Going on to a different subject, I would remind commission members that you cannot be in default to the city and continue on the commission. If anyone is in default, you need to clear up that default. You have 30 days from the time you are notified. That means your water bills have to be up to date and paid and not behind, as well as your taxes. Or if you have a property maintenance fine, that must be paid, or it's against the charter for anyone to be allowed to be on a commission that is in default to the city. I would ask, I see Captain Dillenbeck is here, maybe we could throw up a radar over on Bunnert, if we haven't done that already. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and we did just, I don't know if we purchased it yet, but we did put in the last budget for an additional, what are they called? Radar, I'll call them a radar checker, speed checkers. But we did purchase an additional one because we understand that there are complaints of racing, and I think that anybody that's paying attention, the problem is in a lot of situations, people that are racing and speeding, our police go to stop them and they run away from the police. And then that is creating a chase situation, and we have to be very judicious on how we're dealing with that. People don't want to be stopped. Oftentimes when they're speeding, they have warrants out for their arrest for all kinds of things, so we understand there's a problem, and we do the best we can, but you can only be so many places at one time. No matter how many police officers you have, they can't be on every single street and be there to preempt any sort of crime or violation. I think that is just about it for me. I see that Mr. Mazzarelli gave his card to Mr. Clark. We are also sort of in the process of figuring out, we have a land bank now. We're kind of figuring out what properties we're going to put in the land bank and which will stay with the city. So there may be some little confusion on what we're doing with properties. But I'll follow up and, and talk with Mr. Mazzarelli, and between the two of us, try to figure out what the holdup is. Okay. And thank you. And Ms. Sanker, we do listen to you. And we do listen to the residents. We follow up, maybe not at the moment of the meeting, but we get information. People come up and give their cards, and they're followed up. We don't ignore anybody, honestly. That is the truth. And we appreciate everybody that comes out and gives their time. Truly, we want to know what you think, what you're encountering. We can't be everywhere all the time, and we don't know there's a problem often until you tell us it is, and we do appreciate that. So I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Madam President, through the chair.
Mr. Dwyer.
Yes, in response to Mr. Wright, Ms. Harris, and Mr. Vanderlinden, as far as police coverage goes, yeah, we are short probably about at least 24 officers. We have more retirements coming up. We have other officers that are off on medical and other reasons, which really and truly puts us down probably about 35 officers. And that's a big problem. I mean, the hiring is going very, very slow. And when it comes to answering complaints about speeders, law enforcement, we handle things by priority. So everything's prioritized by dispatch. So serious in-progress type crimes are at the top of the list. Armed robberies in progress, B&Es in progress. Those are pretty much priority number one. Accidents, whether they're injury accidents or just normal accidents, those are at the top of the list. So when it comes to speeders, it's just very hard for us, with the staffing we have, to get to all these different locations. I mean, we do have a traffic department, a traffic unit, But I'm sure they're busy out there shagging runs right now because we are so shorthanded. So that's a big problem. We're trying to remedy it. I know HR, our new HR director, is doing his best in trying to fill positions, but it's going to take some time. So we're trying to do the best we can. And on another matter, as far as Assistant Commissioner Rushton, he is one of the most well-liked, well-respected upper command officers in this department, in the police department. And for us to lose them would be terrible. I mean, morale is really good right now, and we lose somebody like Deputy Commissioner Rushton, that's going to be a tough loss for all of us. And it certainly is not going to help the morale of the department. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Dwyer. Any other council response?
Madam President.
Mr. Lafferty.
To Ms. Durga, you spoke about heritage and conversations that we've had. I've had conversations with other residents relative to the same topic of trash collection, the size of the streets, the depth of the streets, the non-spec compared to city-spec streets. That issue, I have conveyed all of those concerns to the mayor's office. I have conveyed them to the city attorney's office. They are aware of it, and I have had conversations with the director of public service, sanitation, to address those concerns. And so I'm looking for the mayor's office and the city attorney's office to finally, give some attention to that matter, so it does not simply continue on, and there is some explanation that everybody, will have an opportunity to understand. So I do want you to know that it's not, because council is not acting. And I believe I penned a response to numerous residents earlier this year. It is not an issue that I can, propose an amendment to the PUD at the table and we vote on it and it's done. Unfortunately, it's not that simple of a procedure. So I've asked the city attorney's office and the mayor's office to make that a priority to give you a response, and we await that to happen. Thank you.
Any other responses?
Madam Chair, I would just like to follow up on what Mr. Lafferty said. I was actually very, very involved in the PUD when that was developed, when that agreement happened, and on my first term at council. The only way that planned unit development was approved were to make certain conditions on certain things in that development. Because the streets are not a normal width, the same construction, the roads are not constructed of the same material that would withstand the weight of the normal garbage trucks being there. And that was an agreement that was absolutely mandated, or we could have never approved that. If you look, those are condominiums, basically, in Heritage. And you look at the lot size, all of that was agreed to with certain conditions at that time. To go back now and do that, I'm not sure it's possible, because the roads would have to be reconstructed, the streets would have to be widened, and there would have to be a lot of things changed to be in conformance. So I understand frustration, and I think it's people that weren't here from the beginning and didn't understand what we went through. I will tell you that we were at the very last second trying to get a deal together. We had every union in the area that wanted this built, the mill rates and everyone, and because everyone wanted this built, and that was the only way we were going to get it done. There were other concessions too, but that is where this came from. What we can do now, I can't imagine what it would be and how much it would cost. I don't know how much the HOA, or if there is one or many, how much that would cost to bring those roads up to city street standards and change the width. I don't know if it's possible at this point, but that's that's just to give you the genesis of where that came from. Thank you.
Mr. Noonan.
Yeah, it occurred to me that if $1 million over a certain period of years had been collected for garbage service, and you're not getting garbage service, then I wonder if that, at least you wouldn't be taxed for that going forward or something. But I don't really understand the situation. I'm probably creating trouble. So I'll let it go at that. But if we're collecting money for a service we're not providing, it seems like we should stop collecting that money. Thank you.
I will, next item. I was gonna say
Motion to adjourn.
Support Dwyer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?